This past Friday, I got to visit me a place that's been on my radar for quite some time now. Having been part of their awesome subscription service way back when, I finally set foot in South London's finest, the Craft Metropolis. And wouldn't you know it, they had themselves a lovely little tap takeover from one of the hottest new breweries in the land, Liverpool's Azvex Brewing Co. Boy, I gotta tell ya, I don't tend to venture too far south of the water, but that little gem was more than worth the venture. It has the perfect vibe for all you beer lovers out there. So if you happen to be around the way, or don't mind yourself a schlep, then let me tell you, Craft Metropolis is well worth it. It's only been a day or two and I'm already thinking of excuses to go back down. And on top of having such a fantastic venue, the takeover wasn't half bad either. There were some beautiful pails and a luscious stout to end on. And boy, it did a job of ending me alright. So, as Azvex were the flavour of that day, it seemed only too fitting that we kick the week off with them too. With a fine sounding IPA, the Bulletproof Cheetah. Now, if you give the name a quick Google, you're likely to come across a whole lot of GTA 3 content. The Cheetah being one of the top supercars in the game. Don't recall ever finding me the Bulletproof one, but Google claims it's out there. Then again, it has been some 20 odd years since the game was originally released. That could be playing into it too. I'm just hoping that this Cheetah is as exhilarating and breathtaking as its possible namesake. That's of course assuming the names are completely coincidental, which they probably are. But if anyone knows for sure if Mr. Henderson was much of a gamer back in the day, do feel free to let us know. But for now, that's the story I'm going with. As for the brew itself, well, I'm pretty excited to get stuck in. As for me, the two main standout beers from the other night were definitely the two pails they had on offer. Colourful Snakes and When Lambo. So if you do stumble upon those two while you're out there, do yourself a favour, give them a go. And although they did have a couple of dippers pouring that night too, for me they didn't really live up to some of the competition out there. Although that said, this one here weighs in at 7%, so we're almost pushing dipper territory here. Dry hopped with the very exotic Azaka and Galaxy, and supplemented by two IPA staples, the Simcoe and the Citra. So I'm hoping for a lovely balance of sweet tropical up top and that classic citrus bitterness in the finish. So let's rev up those engines. Let's get pouring. Now I have just seen that there is a cheeky little sports car on the front of the can. Don't know how I missed that earlier, but it's definitely adding credence to my GTA theory. Oh, and it is super tropical on the nose. Really big, punchy mango right up top. Smells like it might be a little dank too. And it's got an almost peppery quality to it. And I'm almost getting a little berry note in there too. Oh my lord, there is a whole lot going on with this. It's a whole fruit cocktail right up top. There are notes of berry, you're getting peachy notes, there's that mango that was very present in the aroma, a little pineapple in there too, and yeah, there's a really strong note of gooseberry or lychee, little white grape in there as well. Like I said, a whole lot going on right there. And there might even be a little hint of vanilla right in the back there. Or maybe it's just that smooth body playing tricks on me. Cause it really is super smoothy smooth. I was pretty impressed with that first Azvex we tried, but this is blowing it right out of the water.
And now we're down into the beer summits, the zesty citrus notes that are really starting to take full hold. There's still that juicy, fruity note right up top. It's actually become almost bubblegum-like, but it is being well overpowered now by those citrus bitter notes. And that finish, it has become very herbally now. It's got a little peppery spiciness to it. I am dreading coming to rating time, because this is something special. Well, I don't even know where to begin. This was some doozy. Hugely tropical and juicy on the nose. And boy, once you get stuck in, it was all of that and then some. There was so much fruit going on, it put a pack of Starburst to shame. And what makes it quite so beautiful is that nothing really dominates early on. So you really can pick out all of those little subtle notes. Things like those berries, those gooseberries, and that lychee, the peaches, the mango, the pineapple, that subtle white grape too, and even more hidden away, a creamy, smooth vanilla. It truly was quite outstanding. And that body just adds perfectly to things. It's smooth and light, and just so quaffable. But it isn't all just sweet like candy, as things shake up midway through, and those citrus bitter notes really start to take full control. And that's how it remains till the bitter end. And that bitterness, it does have a herbal, peppery, almost spiciness to it, which lingers long on the tongue. This really was an interesting, complex, and ever-developing brew, and just an all-round enjoyable experience. As I found out the other night, these guys really have nailed their IPAs, and I'm just glad I nailed the GTA reference. The only real wisdom I can leave you with is, you see one of their IPAs, you make sure you pick it up.